This YCN segment is brought to you by New London Hospital, an affiliate of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and we continue with the NFL playoffs. We move over to the NFC. And Andrew, before we start breaking it down, just number one right off the top, probably the best team in football, I believe, the New Orleans Saints. They got home field advantage. They've already beat the Rams at home. They've shown they beat the Steelers at home a few weeks ago. They continue to play well. Yeah. Can anybody beat this team, especially with home field advantage?
I mean, it's going to be tough. I think Drew Brees is probably your MVP, but it's going to be tough. You know, I mean, a number of teams, like the Bears, maybe if the Bears continue to win, they've looked really good. I think they could definitely challenge the Saints. But yeah, playing at home, they are going to be tough to beat. And Drew Brees, another veteran quarterback, he knows how to win. I really think they're probably Super Bowl favorites to win it. Maybe not favorites completely overall, but favorites to get there, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And one thing we've seen differently is this Saints defense is actually pretty good. It's, you know, in the past years we've seen where they've had a good defense but it hasn't been great, or we've seen a lot of offense and not a lot of defense. Yeah. This defense is pretty good. And what they did to the Rams at home earlier in the season was pretty big. Yeah. That helped them clinch home field advantage throughout. So I agree with you. I think they're the number one team probably in all of football, favorites. Yeah. But you know, you're right. Anything can happen. You gotta get those wins. So don't count these other teams out. And one team we don't really want to count out, the Philadelphia Eagles. They get the wild card. They're the number 6 seed, clinched on the final day. They got to travel to Chicago. Nick Foles is in. I don't know what to say about this team. They're not that good. Then Nick Foles comes back in. He has a couple good games. He's 4-1 this year as a starter. Can they bring the big upset in Chicago this weekend?
I mean, yeah, it's possible. I've seen Nick Foles lead that team to a number of upset wins, right?
Yeah,
Remembering last year's Super Bowl, of course. Nick Foles, he can kind of turn it on sometimes. Sometimes he'll be bad, and other times he'll look like an all-star quarterback. Yep. I mean, it's really surprising. Really the Eagles, you know, if they snuck into the playoffs, they can be kind of that wild card team. You know, it's going to be tough for them with that kind of last seed, but you know, they made the playoffs. That's what they had to do, and now the path is there for them. If Nick Foles can be championship Foles from last year, they're a dangerous team. You got to keep an eye on them, I think.
Yeah, I do think that they are one of those teams, and plus we've seen teams like the Bears, who had a pretty poor season last year, obviously improved tremendously this year. Teams that improve by that much. Not to say that they're not for real, but sometimes they just don't. I mean, you've got Mitchell Trubisky leading you, not to take anything away from him, but how much can we really trust him in a big playoff game with not a lot of weapons? I mean, their defense is great. Yep. Don't get me wrong, they deserve to be where they are, but will they keep it up? So that leads me to my next question. Any road teams that you think in all the playoffs who have a better shot at the upset than others? I mean, obviously we talk about the Eagles, they can get hot. In the AFC, we've got Chargers maybe getting the win. Yeah. Colts. I mean, if you picked one road team to win, who would it be?
I really think it's the Chargers. Like we were saying before, I think Phillip Rivers is going to have a really good playoff run. They might have some tough games, but I think down the stretch, Phillip Rivers is going to come up clutch. And obviously Melvin Gordon, I mean, that passing running game that they have is really strong, and they have a ton of depth at running back too. San Diego, I think they're going to make a run. And that 5th seed, really, it kind of makes them underdogs, but really they should not be considered underdogs.
Right, they're not going to be underdogs, and it looks like, I really do think, I mean, obviously you got the Saints in the NFC, probably far and away the best team. But other than that, I think it's wide open because we've seen the Rams stumble. They lost to the Bears. Yeah. We've seen the Chiefs. Their defense is not that good. Right. Obviously, the Patriots, they have their struggles. So I'll put you on the spot for your playoff picks. The NFC, who do you think represents the NFC? And who do you think wins the AFC?
Yeah, so I think the Saints are going to make the Super Bowl for the NFC. But the AFC, that picture is really more wide open. I think the Patriots, if they can put it together, I mean, you know, that veteran leadership, they have it. I think they could make a run, easily make the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs, they aren't exactly the same team without Kareem Hunt, right? That was a huge loss for them. So really, I think it's going to be Chiefs, Patriots. I think even the Chargers could make it. As a Pats fan, I'm going to be biased. I'm going with New England. I think it's going to be Pats, Saints in the Super Bowl. I don't know who's going to win that one. Saints are really good, but the Patriots, really, they have the pieces, the weapons, the experience. I think if they put it together at the right time, they could win another championship.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to be pretty boring because I'm going to agree with the same thing because the Saints are far and away the best team. They have home field advantage. They get to the Super Bowl. And the Patriots, I think they win that first game. They're in the AFC Championship with a little luck. Maybe it's at home. If not, you go on the road to play Kansas City. We know the Chiefs' defense is just as bad. It could be, shot for shot, and whoever has the ball last. And I'm not going to ever count out Tom Brady, despite what he's done this year. He's been kind of mediocre to some degree.
Yep.
And like you said, the Chiefs have really been kind of figured out now that Hunt's gone. Mahomes is kind of not slowed down, but it's going to be a fun playoffs. But we both have Patriots and Saints in the Super Bowl. We'll take a break, come back, talk some Celtics. They're on a roller coaster season, winning on Christmas Day, and then kind of falling apart a little bit here and there. So we'll come back, talk Celtics. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.